My name is John Passfield, and the title of this reading will be The Mammoth Cheese, Video 7, The Quest, Saratoga. This is my novel, James McIntyre, The Mammoth Cheese, a novel by John Passfield, an historical photo from 1866 on the cheese itself is the mammoth cheese and the word Ingersoll. Here's a summary from the back cover. With a contribution of 800 cows, the tiny village of Ingersoll, Ontario, has not only produced the world's largest block of cheese, it has also nurtured the epic poet who can rapturously sing its praises. Now, if only Queen Victoria can be persuaded to take a hearty bite and add her majestic voice to the poet's ecstatic hymns of praise, the mammoth cheese will become the edible jewel in the crown of the globe-girdling British Empire. So that's the quest. It's one thing to build the world's biggest cheese, but to gain recognition for having done so, that's the quest. And the first leg of that journey, that quest, is to go to Saratoga, New York. So in this video, I'm going to read from the 3 chapters in which the main character, James McIntyre, thinks about the trip which he makes with his fellow Ingersollians to Saratoga, New York, and back again. And that'll be from chapters 4, 5, and 6. Let's go to page 25 to start the journey. Chapter 4, Saratoga 1. Saratoga, the train station, Saratoga, New York. Had a look at Niagara Falls as we crossed the bridge. Quite a crowd pouring off the train. Find the baggage car for my bags. Got some poems there I wouldn't want to lose. Watch the crew bring the wagon to the car where the mammoth monster has been stored. Pleased to hear that there was no damage to the cheese. One crowd flows into another, as one stream flows into another stream. All the people from Ingersoll, so many I can hardly believe. People from other places who took the train to this place, all flowing out onto the street and joining the crowd who have spent their lives in this very town. Of course, the train does not leave empty. People wave tickets and climb aboard. The conductor blows his whistle. One tide flows out and another tide flows in. Let's go to the next page, page 26. Meeting the local reporter. Breakfast in a charming little cafe. Comparison and contrast, his fair city, my fair city, larger size, smaller size, local attractions, spectacular scenes. What it's like to pound the beat and churn out the words. Special access for the press at every event. Half my mind is on vacation. Half my mind is certainly not. I am here as an Ingersoll tourist, taking in the sights and walking around, but the other half of me is a reporter for the Ingersoll Press. Every penny that people spend is to have a good read. This young reporter is very charming, but I sense a flaw in his eyes. He is a little too off guard should something occur. I glance around as he chatters idly. I am a little more alert than my friend appears to be. We move on into the chapter. Writing an article on Saratoga after scouting around the town. What a lovely place to spend an afternoon. The natural spring spa, the tree-lined streets, the historic battlefield, the bloom-filled gardens, the charming shops and the porches with swings. What a wonderful place to live. Everything as bright as a top, as clear as a fountain, as kind as a smile. If you love living in Ingersoll, you would love it here. I've often felt that I could live almost anywhere. Oh, the landscapes differ, of course, and the climates and the languages vary from place to place. Even the local customs are many and exotic. But people, it seems to me, are the same everywhere. The same needs, water and food, and the need at times to elevate the thoughts, where we come from and what our purpose is in life. One can be human and still live anywhere in the world. I could live here. I'm sure that I could. though to be an American would seem a little odd. Settling down in my hotel, very charming establishment, modern gaslight in the room so I can read. Bright and early I'll be at the fairgrounds to scout, but the judging will be later in the day. Day to have a look around, take the temperature of the water, sound the depths of whatever I see, make a few notes for future articles, visit the 7,000-pound cheese. I am told that an all-night vigil has been posted, so all will be sound. Well, everything's working very well on this visit to Saratoga to gain recognition for the cheese. Chapter 5, Saratoga 2. What an effusion of opulent bliss. What an effervescent eruption of ingenuity in its prime. The Mammoth cheese stands revealed. The Venus of the cheese world emerging from her shell. Here at the exhibition pavilion for all to see. A great day for Saratoga, a great day for Ingersoll. Hands across the border, firmly clasped. A burst of applause as the Ingersoll cheese takes pride of place. How often is perfection without a flaw? How often do we see the sun without a cloud? The greatest characters and the greatest stories have that within which drags them down. How wonderful to see a cheese with no tragic flaw. A piece of cheese to thrill the ages, a piece of cheese from Ingersoll without a flaw. Going very well. A couple of pages later, a major mystery. A major stopgap, a major diversion on this great quest. A meeting is called by the judges. An emergency meeting is called at a critical hour. All of the captains of this great enterprise are called to attend. The press is banned, as I am told when I reach the door. Well, Mr. Harris would actually be, of course, the admiral. The other gentlemen in the factories would be the captains, I'm sure. The workers among us from the cheese factories, those who are here in Saratoga and those who are not, would be the crew. Not in Armada, of course, as we have come by train. Okay, moving on a few more pages. Oops, let's see. I'm on page 95. Here we are. The swelling of the throng. The music gazebo is alive and buzzing. The word finds every Canadian ear. On the exhibition grounds, every Ingersollian is attuned to the gaping wound. An arrow through the heart or a blow on the thigh. The Ingersoll leaders explain the plight. They explain it over and over as more arrive. Opinions given, opinions received. Have we been led into an ambush? Was this the slaughter of the 300 at Thermopylae all along? Were we too trusting? Too Canadian? Too polite for our own good? Why is there no category for the biggest cheese ever wrought? What is a competition without a competition? What is an accomplishment without an accomplishment prize? What is a light if it is placed under a bushel? Whoops, lost my page here. Logic is logic no matter what country, no matter what clime, no matter what principle is at stake or what the prize. The judges must think on another level. The judges must put themselves in our place. The judges must think as Ingersollians, put their Saratoga pettiness behind. So things are not going as well as it seemed they would with this Mammoth cheese and its search for recognition. Chapter 6, Saratoga 3. Another emergency meeting. Emergency meeting number 2. The judge's decisions, we are told, are always final, but an exception will be made in this particular case. We are guests, so we are told, and must be accorded full respect, another chance to present the logic of the Ingersoll concern. Once again, the press is barred. Sealed lips? Sealed doors? Sealed minds? Emergency meeting number 2 or number 3. Let's see now. There was a meeting that caused a great concern, the judges, the admiral, and the captains, and the meeting of the explanation at the music gazebo. Our leaders offered to pay for the damage to the flower beds. The Ingersollians meant no harm. However, the throng was very large, and it was hard to make one's point without crowding around. So this would be, let me get my notebook out, emergency meeting number 3. Okay, then we go on. No light whatsoever. There is no light whatsoever in the judge's eyes. Each one takes a small wedge of cheese from the offering on the plate. Each one lifts it with his hand to his mouth. Actually, one of the judges is a female, 1 female out of 3, but she is equally as inscrutable as she chews. Do females, by their nature, in their minds, their hearts, their souls, know more or less than a man would know about cheese? Now, Queen Victoria is a female, is very well known. One judge makes use of a glass of water. Is that a good sign? The other 2 wave away the proffered glass. What does that mean? The tension mounts as the clock is ticking. The judges stand and slowly chew the Ingersoll cheese. Second place is the shattering news. Second place is the stab to the heart. Second place in the taste competition. How could anyone be deaf to the voice of the Ingersoll cheese? What did he say? People whisper, is he reading from the wrong card? Surely there must be a mistake. Not a cow in the world can match an Ingersoll cow. Loading the cheese box onto the train. A dreary day in Saratoga. A dreary day for sure in Ingersoll. Tired and exhausted, eyes downcast, the weary Ingersollians board the homebound train. A long ride home, and some sober second thought. A Jason without a golden fleece? The Ogden stables not flushed clean as they were in the tale? How write an article for the newspaper in which the expected did not come to happen? About a non-event in which nothing happened at all. My pencil worries the paper to no avail. What is the difference between A and B? What is the difference between A and Z? Between the beginning of the alphabet and the middle, between the middle and the end? Saratoga, Toronto, Hamilton, London, Paris, the entire world? The greatest journey, they say, begins with a single step. The greater journey, I say, begins with a backward step. What is the letter that comes before A in the alphabet? Well, we apply human logic to our problems, try to solve them. So how do we measure ourselves, and how do other people measure us? Who gets to set the criteria by which we are measured? In this novel, the citizens of Ingersoll have created what they believe is the largest block of cheese in the British Empire. They go to Saratoga, New York, a city in another country, in order to have their accomplishment validated. As the 3 Saratoga chapters unfold, chapters 4, 5, and 6, it becomes obvious to the Ingersollians that their sense of value is not the same as the sense of value of the people of Saratoga. So, who's right and who's wrong in this case? Is it possible to write a novel in which neither side is right or wrong? Is it possible that there are 2 definitions of classical tragedy? One would be that one of the mighty opposites in the tragic story is right and one is wrong, and the outcome determines which is which. And number 2, a little different, That tragedy depicts a situation in which neither side is right or wrong, and that the destruction of the society of the novel, or at least the loss that is incurred, the setback that is encountered, is a natural process, and what is being exalted is being brought down. Well, the next chapter, chapter 7, which I won't read, is an assessment chapter for the Society of Ingersoll and for the main character, James McIntyre. Be interesting to see whether the main character and his society agree or find themselves to be at odds. So once again, thank you for listening. This is my novel, James McIntyre, The Mammoth Cheese. There's more information about the novel on Amazon. My publisher's website is rocksmillspress.com, rocksmillspress.com. There's more information there. My own website, johnpassfield.ca, johnpassfield.ca, has not only more information, but it has two books for free access. One is a planning notebook in which I planned and wrote the novel, and the other is a journal in which I reviewed the novel as I was polishing the rough draft. So have a look there if you're interested in writing or even in just reading novels and how they're put together. And lastly, I'll say thank you for watching this video.